What's going on, guys? I just invested in a cryptocurrency startup online pre-IPO called Ternio Blockcard. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a little bit about cryptocurrency, angel investing, and of course, how I came up with the investment decision to put some cash into this awesome new startup. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ksebati. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MySwimPro. And in the last 5 years or so, we built MySwimPro to be a global technology and media company with a distributed team that spans over 10 different time zones. The application has been named by Apple as the best app of the year, has been downloaded over 1 million times, the company's doing over 7 figures in revenue, and we've done all of that on a little bit less than $1 million in outside capital raised from venture capital, angel investing, and of course, equity crowdfunding. Now in this video, we're gonna talk about the investment in Ternio Blockcard. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're subscribed because I talk about startups, entrepreneurship, and angel investing. Also, before we get started, if you haven't already seen my video, why I made my first angel investment online in a company called Everyday, awesome ed tech company. Check it out, linked in the description below. That company raised over $1 million with 1,500 different investors in just a matter of weeks. Awesome analysis there. Also, if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to raise money for your startup, make sure you check out the video I did on how we raised over $600,000 via equity crowdfunding online through WeFunder. Check it out, linked in the description below. Now in this video, we're not talking about cryptocurrency exclusively and why you should invest in crypto. That's not what we're doing. There's plenty of videos that explain cryptocurrency, but I think it's important if you're new to really get a good background on what cryptocurrency is and why it gives good context for this company as an investment. So cryptocurrency is a digital asset that uses cryptography to secure and verify transactions. When we're talking about a digital asset, basically a store of value, think gold. And it's near impossible to counterfeit or duplicate, and that's what we're talking about, cryptography. Now, it uses a decentralized network based on the blockchain, fancy, but we don't have to get too much into the weeds. Basically, the blockchain is a distributed ledger. Think a database with different entries being added to it. So it's really organized, it's digital, it's great. It's not issued by a central authority, and this is important because that means there's gonna be no or very little government interference, and of course that means less or none corruption. Bitcoin is not cryptocurrency, and this is a really big disclaimer here because I'll use Bitcoin examples a lot, but Bitcoin is basically one type of cryptocurrency. Think of cryptocurrency as the umbrella. It is the digital asset class, and Bitcoin is one of those. It just happens to have the largest market capitalization, and a lot of people happen to have Bitcoin who are invested in cryptocurrency. Now, this is an alternative asset class, which means the people who are on TV moving around the equities and all of the articles that you'll read are not necessarily playing with cryptocurrency. They're moving around cash, US dollars. But even famous investors like Paul Tudor Jones, billionaire hedge fund manager, is bullish on the concept of cryptocurrency. Here's what he had to say about Bitcoin.
When I think of stores of value, I think of it 4 ways: purchasing power, trustworthiness, liquidity, and portability. What I do know is that every day that goes by and Bitcoin survives, the trust in it will go up. If you take cash, on the other hand, and you think about it from a purchasing power standpoint, if you own cash in the world today, you know your central bank has an avowed goal of depreciating its value 2% per year. So you have, in essence, a wasting asset in your hands. So the digitization of the world clearly benefits Bitcoin. I mean, we wouldn't even be talking about Bitcoin if we weren't seeing first cousins like Venmo and a variety of other ways. My children don't even carry cash. We're getting in an increasingly digitized world, and Bitcoin will be that much more accessible by that universe of people that could own it as a store of value.
So this billionaire hedge fund manager is hedging, which means he's making a bet on the fact that because the Fed is printing out literally trillions of dollars, Jerome Powell printing out trillions of dollars here in 2020, that there's a chance that we see inflation in the market. And because of that, cash is no longer a good store of value, and the equity market is potentially going to be very volatile, and Bitcoin has the potential to be really, really lucrative and valuable in the future. He's not alone. Raoul Pal is a legendary investor, and he said that he believes Bitcoin can go up to $500,000. Bitcoin is currently $10,000 roughly at the time of this video. Imagine that, over $500,000 all the way up to $1 million or more. That is a crazy increase in value, and the reason why the value is going to go up is supply and demand. more people are demanding this asset class, this Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency, and as a result, the value is going to go up. That is really, really exciting for a company like Ternio Blockcard. Here are some facts about the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency market that we live in and how it's growing really, really fast. And again, this gives context as to why this is a good investment decision. Not why you should invest in Bitcoin, although if you have thoughts about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, let me know in the comments. What do you think? But basically, nearly 50 million Bitcoin wallets have been issued globally. Now, there are less than 50 million people exchanging in that marketplace, but it's growing really fast. And in the United States, over 5% of the population holds Bitcoin. And Coinbase, which is the platform, whether the app or the website, where you can exchange cryptocurrencies, has over 13 million users. And this market adoption is growing insanely fast. This asset class didn't even exist 2 decades ago. It really came along in the last 5 to 10 years. We all know what happened in 2017 and 18, where we had a huge spike up and then a crash. But overall, the trend is moving, and it's still early, but there's a lot of potential in the crypto world. So that's a background about cryptocurrency. Now meet Ternio. Ternio is a technology company that created the Blockcard. And the Blockcard is similar to a normal Visa debit card, except the value is stored as cryptocurrency until the very last moment when you transact. And this part is really important because traditionally, if you have a normal debit card, you have your Visa card, you take cash, you put it in the bank or it's direct deposited, then you go to Starbucks or McDonald's and you go and make a purchase and money comes out of your account, cash is exchanged, and then we're done. So if more and more people are going to have cryptocurrency in their possession as an asset class, and it transitions from less about being a store of value and people actually want to use the value that is accrued in the Bitcoin, right now, Blockcard is really your best option to do that because it holds the value of the cryptocurrency until you're actually at Starbucks making the transaction. And at that point, it is converted from cryptocurrency at that value point into US dollars or whatever currency that you're using to transact in. So that's something that's really unique, really interesting. Now, I really want to quickly clarify what is angel investing. Angel investment, because we're not investing in Bitcoin, we're talking about investing in the company that creates the Blockcard, which I just explained. So an angel investor is basically allowing an individual to invest directly in a private company pre-IPO for a stake in the company. Think Shark Tank, right? We're talking about Shark Tank. Basically, the investors, me as an individual, are investing in a company in exchange for some ownership stake in the company. Now, this is really, really unique to do this pre-IPO because before 2016, before the Jobs Act, this was actually illegal. You couldn't publicly solicit funds like Ternio is doing today on a platform called Republic and other platforms like WeFunder, and there's a number out there that allow private companies to host and do an open public offering where they allow investors, literally anyone can invest. If you guys are interested in investing in this company or any other platform on Republic, check out the URL linked below. You can get a note, which means you basically can get bounty, and it allows you to get cash to invest in other companies. So make sure you use the link in the description. I want to give a full disclaimer. I am not sponsored or have no affiliation to Republic or the company Ternio Blockcard, which is really exciting to make this video 100% on myself. And I probably should have put that disclaimer at the beginning. Another disclaimer, since I'm doing disclaimers, I'm not giving any investment advice, so take everything I say about this company or anything about angel investments with a grain of salt. Do your own research before investing in a company. I'm just sharing my personal perspective. Now that we got that out of the way, if you haven't also checked out that video on why I invested in the other company every day on a different platform called WeFunder, check it out. Again, I mentioned linked in the description below. Now let's talk about the Ternio investment. That's why you've come to this video. Specifically, I want you guys to reference the Form C, where a lot of this information, when you file an OPO, open public offering, you have to file something called a Form C with the SEC, and that's where I got a lot of this information. It's available on the investment platform website on Republic, and for this company, you can check out all the fancy terms and the finances and everything like that. So the terms of the investment, it was a safe, simple agreement for future equity, which basically means you're basically getting a promise, a note saying that when the company raises a future price round of financing with a valuation, basically a price equity round, and the round the funds raised has to be at least $1 million, then my stake will convert with a $15 million valuation cap with a 20% discount on that. So if the company raises at a $30 million valuation, or a 15 million valuation, I'll actually be converting at 20% discounted off of that, which is actually $12 million. And so far, at the time of my investment in May of 2020, there were over 2,000 investors that invested $750,000. So there's a big community behind this investment opportunity. Really, really interesting. Now, again, the company gives blockchain and cryptocurrency real-world application. That's how I would pitch this company. They create a card that is similar to a bank, but really what they're doing is they're giving blockchain and crypto real-world application. And that is really what excites me, to take a growing market opportunity and something that a lot of people are investing in as a store of value. Consumer behavior is going to change over the next 5 to 10 years, and this company is positioned well to take advantage of that. Now, what is the problem that this company is solving? You know, all of these investment criteria are super important. If you're a new investor or you haven't started a company before, you know, hopefully I can share my perspective as someone who has built hundreds of slide decks and raised money from hundreds of investors. You want to understand the company, the problem, the solution, business model, market opportunity, traction, finance, team, and any other insightful wisdom that you can have. So it's really important to understand the problem that this company is solving. Basically, banks are slow, old, inefficient, and expensive. This is the 21st century. Technology has yet to truly penetrate the banking industry. People need to interact with crypto in the same way they interact with traditional payment systems. On top of that, there are 1.7 billion people on the planet who don't have a bank. They're unbanked. So they're people that are carrying around cash. They don't have a bank for whatever reason. And 2/3 of them have a smartphone. So if you think about the disconnect here and the fact that banks are old school, and even though they're old school, not even everyone has access to them for one reason or another, but they have smartphones, they have technology. This is an industry that has a lot of problems that can be fixed. The solution, obviously with Blockcard, is a platform to move digital assets immediately. And that's what we're talking about with the Visa card, the Blockcard, right? Awesome piece of technology. But more importantly, what I believe, the solution is actually the ability to white label products to enterprise clients. If this company was only doing the Blockcard, I would probably not be interested in the investment opportunity. But when you take a closer look, what they're actually doing is they're white labeling this technology to enterprise clients. So it actually becomes a B2B2C model rather than only a B2C model. The business model, of course, is fees through the Blockcard. So this is actually very traditional to a standard bank where you have fees, monthly subscription costs, transaction fees, things like that. There's also these white label partners, and really, really cool, there's a 6.38% in rewards, which sounds absolutely insane. You think about a lot of different cards, you get 1%, 3%, maybe 5% in rewards. How about 6.38% in rewards? So really, they want you to use this card. Check it out, pretty awesome. And the market, there's 3 different levels of the market opportunity. Obviously, if you think about banking and finance, I mean, that's just enormous, right? People are they're spending money. That's ridiculous. But there's 3 layers, and these are listed on the Republic crowdfunding website. But the first one is the crypto card. So this is relatively small. So and there's a few competitors in there, but basically this is transacting via a card. And then you have the exchanges. This is where like Coinbase would fall in. And this is a $280 billion market. And then you have the banks, and this is trillions. This is like JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo. And if you've been paying attention to any media lately in Q2 of 2020, the banks are in really hot water. Everyone's trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Again, think about these billionaire hedge fund managers. Even they are thinking cryptocurrency is a good hedge, and you should be thinking about it as well. Again, we're not selling crypto. We're just saying that the market is moving in this direction, and the companies that can position themselves to take advantage of this new trend have a chance to do something really, really disruptive. And as an angel investor, it is your job to identify potential opportunities that have the chance to create tremendous impact. And this company, I believe, has the opportunity to do so. When we're thinking about traction, what has the company actually done since inception? The company is relatively new, maybe only 2 years old, and Blockcard is live in 12 plus different cryptocurrencies. That's a pretty big accomplishment. I mean, to be able to launch something, go launch a debit card, see how that goes, right? So that's pretty impressive. Partnership with Visa. They are profitable, doing over 7 figures in revenue, I believe after year 1. That's really, really impressive. And they've been profitable, being very, very efficient. We'll talk about the team in just a second. They have 11 enterprise white label partners. If you know anything about white labeling, it's a sales process. It can take a long time. So to have any white label success is really, really impressive, and they have 20 more companies in the pipeline. So really good sales opportunity there. When we talk about the finances of the company, they have a clean cap table. So the capitalization table is who has equity in the company. Right now it looks like, looking at the Form C in the SEC submitted documents, only the two founders really own majority of the company. I like how it's split pretty evenly between both of them. They're in a true partnership. Again, the company is profitable. The unit economics makes sense. They're trying to build an efficient and scalable company that's a real business, that's making money. They're not trying to go and raise $50 million and just burn through a ton of cash. That's not gonna work in the economy for the next 3 years, 5 years potentially. And so it's really good that they're setting themselves up. They only have 2 full-time employees, the 2 founders. Everyone else is a contractor. I'm not sure on the exact details of that, but they'll figure it out. Eventually everyone will probably be full-time and working, as an actual team member full-time, but it doesn't really matter. They've got the right team. The 2 founders, Daniel and Ian, CEO and COO, these are the 2 founders. It's really cool. I watched the 2018 and 2019, I skimmed through them, review. Check out their YouTube channel where you can really see these guys are in it for the journey. They're not here trying to just flip a company. They really want to invest and build something really impactful. They used to work at a different company together, so they have this entrepreneurial team chemistry. And because they've worked together and because they both come from a sales background, you can really see how when we talk about white labeling and enterprise sales and how that's a really big component of being able to build a strong and successful business in this category, they definitely have that. So a very, very strong team. And the last thing I want to talk about is the vibe. As an investor, as an entrepreneur first, I don't really consider myself an investor. I consider myself an entrepreneur who's spoken with literally hundreds of different companies at different stages that have raised anywhere from zero money to millions to tens of millions of hundreds of millions of dollars. And really when it comes down to it, you have to have that right vibe. The vibe means, why are you investing in this company? Why are you bullish on it? Why do you think it's gonna work? And what advice do you have based on what you've seen? So here's my advice. Hopefully the founders have made it this far to the end. I believe it is critical to listen to the customer. And that is actually why I'm investing in this company. Yes, it's an amazing market opportunity, but I believe that these founders have the right skills to penetrate an evolving and quickly growing market because they listen to the customers. If you look at Republic and you look at the 500 plus comments, you can see the attention to detail that this team is spending in answering the questions people have. They understand what they're doing. They're being really attentive to the people who are interested in cryptocurrency in their company, and they're serving that respect and that mutual time. So that way people who are interested in investing, they're gonna listen to them. People who wanna use the product, they're gonna listen to them. And that is the most important thing at early stage. Also, really fun fact, it looks like this company was working on an ad tech product in the very beginning, and they've already pivoted away from that. So when I am investing, I'm not investing in potentially another pivot. Maybe there will be other pivots, but the biggest pivot was already done. They've already changed direction, and I'm not investing in them doing an experiment to change direction again, most likely. So that has really de-risked my investment because they're listening to the customer. And I'm assuming that is why they decided to make that pivot. I also see them building community. Cryptocurrency is a community that is evolving. Even though 5% of Americans, that's actually millions of people, it's still a relatively small, tight-knit group. If you're a cryptocurrency, wizard, or you love it and you hate it, let me know in the comments. Don't tear me apart. Talk about cryptocurrency and potentially this investment in the comments. Let me know what you think. But really, they're building community. And I mentioned it already, but it's all about sales. This is less a technology play. The technology has been built. It will evolve. Things will happen. But in this space, and again, I'm technology entrepreneur, CEO, I really see the technology as only being one component of this puzzle. A lot of it is being able to adapt as the market evolves, because this is such a new asset class. It will be much different in 10 years. Consumer behavior will be different. The way people approach this industry will be different. And the ability for these two founders, entrepreneurs, to pivot their sales strategy so they can secure white label partners, or maybe they decide that's not the right move and they have to go direct B2C. Basically figuring out whatever the right sales strategy is and being nimble enough to adapt in real time is what's going to separate this company from anyone else in the space. So I am hedging, I'm making a bet, and I'm making an investment on the fact that they're listening to their early customers, they have the right sales skills, and the market opportunity is massive. And they are positioned with the right timing, product, and all those different factors. So that is why I believe this to be a good investment decision. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed by now, make sure you subscribe, like the video. Feel free to follow me on social media. You can be a part of it there. Until next time, guys, keep hustling.